Hello, I'm Lee Lewis, publisher of Women of Wealth magazines, and I am so excited today to have you on our show. I am sitting with the famous, renowned Karen Greer, morning anchor with 11 Alive News. I can't believe this. I am so excited. Hi, Karen.
Hi, Dr. Lewis. So great to be here with you. I didn't know who you were talking about. I was waiting to see who that renowned person was. So great to see you and be here with you. You've done so many wonderful things.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I have chased this lady for over a year. I was determined to get her on my show. I just admire her from afar, and it's just so beautiful inside and out. And I know how you love the community of Atlanta. I've got so many things I want to ask, but first, tell me, what roles do you play in the community, helping women in Atlanta trying to get to the next level?
I tell you, Dr. Lewis, I try and do anything pretty much that I can that my schedule permits. As a mom with two boys, that gets a little difficult, but I do mentoring. I do work with young people in college looking to do what I do because that's pretty much how I got started, looking for that mentor, looking for that person that will help guide you through the doors. Because it's not an easy road,
No,
as we know,
no.
journalism.
Mm-mm.
I grew up in Chicago, south side of Chicago. I'm an only child. And the one thing that I'm blessed with is that my parents told me there was nothing too big, no dream that I couldn't achieve. And I always remembered that. I went away to college and, majored in broadcast journalism, speech communication, and had teachers who told me, you'll never be in a business. You're too soft. You don't have to look. You don't this. And you know what? That wasn't going to stop me. And I looked at the women who have paved the way and been there before, and the men. On this week, this month, is August, is very, very, I think, touching for all African Americans. And on the day that we're doing this interview is actually the 50th anniversary of the March on Washington. There's so much that goes on in our lives that you have to stop, you have to smell it, you have to enjoy it. Some of the women in this business that really motivated me, first black woman to do any kind of TV show in Atlanta, probably Billy Aaron, Hank Aaron's wife. She had a show over at WSB. Another one of the first, Sonona Clayton, doing news. So these are women that, I've met, I talk to, I can call on the phone. Who would have ever thought,
Wow.
50 years after the March on Washington, that there'd be so many African American women in this role.
Awesome. And another thing that I'm impressed with, I kind of remember the era where you had to be really light skin. You had to be almost white to get a position of your magnitude. They would, okay, we need to put a black woman on here, but she didn't look black. But we can.
There's
really
no
relate.
mistaking. Everybody knows. Yeah, you know what? Times have changed, just even in education. I remember hearing those stories about some of the historically black colleges and pledging different sororities.
Yes.
You had to pass certain tests. I'm blessed that I didn't have to deal with any of that. I just had to be me. And that, I think, is a true testament to Dr. King, his dream, his message, and what we're all trying to fulfill in this day and age, and what I'm trying to, hold for my children, my boys, so that they can go and be whatever they want to be. They don't have to feel like they're cubby-holed into, well, you have to do this, or you have to do that. They can do whatever. And I'm proud that we are in that time right now.
Awesome. So what did you think when we got the first black president? It was such a shock.
Coming from Illinois, he was a state senator from the great state of Illinois. I had heard him speak, and Senator Barack Obama was amazing when he spoke at the Democratic National Convention.
Yeah, I remember.
And then talking to family members, friends who were still in Chicago, they were saying, he's the one to watch, he's the one to watch. And it was amazing to watch how it all unfolded. And then being honored to cover the inauguration for the station.
Wow.
They flew me and a photojournalist to D.C. to cover the historic moment. it was unbelievable. All the throngs of people who were there and witnessing that moment in history. You still get chills today.
I can.
And, you know, you just, once again, another testament to all that has gone on before us. And for people not to have ever thought that we could amass wealth or we could be, you know, the people that we are today. When I look at movies like The Butler and interviewed Lee Daniels, amazing how he was able to put that movie, that story on the big screen and show us the lives of people that we never had any idea existed.
So, what would you say to the young girls now? They see me, Michelle Obama, and what would you tell them? You know, you can.
What's frightening in this day and time is social media.
Oh, yes.
And so many of our young people get caught up in the Twitter, in the Facebook, in the Instagram, and posting things that are totally inappropriate.
Yes.
Those are things that will kill your chances. I have a lot of young girls that I do mentor that'll call me, and I try and follow them on social media, and I end up sending the messages back. That's not appropriate. You need to take that down. You know, you don't do this, you don't do that. Times are so different.
Yes.
All we really had to concentrate on was being the best we could be and studying and getting in the door, getting your foot in the door and getting a job. Now all those things that you've done up until that point, they're documented. They're there for anybody to see. And no one's going to hire our young people who are out there, you know, showing themselves partying with a drink in their hand.
Yes.
Showing, you know, pictures with clothes, no clothes, hardly any clothes, things like that. It's a different time. I ask them to be careful about what you're doing. Don't post anything that you think would make your mom or your dad embarrassed. You know, you're thinking they don't look at Facebook, they don't look at Instagram, but your employer will.
That's right.
And so I really urge them to be careful with that. I also try and tell them to dream big and to write down your goals on a piece of paper. I've been very good about that. Even when I was in college, I wrote down what I wanted to do by the time I was 30 and said I wanted to be a weeknight anchor at a major market station. And, you know, I look back at those things and I've accomplished them. And you don't stop though. Once you accomplish those goals, you keep going. And, you know, just come out with a book. I Am a Mother that I'm very proud of, where I got stories from moms all over the country about what motherhood has meant to them. Talked to Robin Roberts' mom from Good Morning America before she passed. Got Monica in the book. She talks about Claire and some NFL moms who talk about raising their boys. Talked to a mom who has a child with autism. She couldn't find the right schools for her child, so she started her own school. Talked to a woman with breast cancer, so she'd never have a baby because she'd had breast cancer 3 times. She got pregnant, had a baby. So, you know, you never say never.
That's right.
And I just wanted to do something inspiring to put motherhood in the spotlight, because so often, you know, we don't do that. We just kind of move along. And maybe it's something that can help some young moms.
It definitely will. Definitely will. Is the book ready yet?
It is ready. It is probably on that shelf behind me.
Well, we need to see.
And I'm going to be at the Decatur Book Festival selling it. So, yeah, it's out there and it's done. So, yeah, I'll have to make sure you get a copy and see it.
Thank you, Karen.
All right, Dr. Lewis, thank you so
really
much.
appreciate this.
All right.
I'll be looking for you on our lifestyle show.
Much continued success to you.
Thank you.